Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Teachings of Joseph Question of the Week. We got so many questions by email, we decided to put them into a podcast and share them with everybody. Hopefully, it will answer some questions you may have too. So welcome aboard, sit back, relax, let's have some fun. Hi, everybody. This week's question is one I have had in the past and one I've heard asked many times throughout the years, but never really answered, at least not an answer that I understood. So let's talk about the fourth dimension. Our question comes from Matt, and Matt asks, how do we go from the third dimension to the fifth? What happened to the fourth? Great question. Thanks, Matt. Anyway, the answer is explained without mentioning the fourth dimension, by the way, in the podcast we did about the evolution of the human aspect. And it shows the path through the third dimension as we move toward the fifth and toward the new earth vibrational realm. If you haven't seen it, go take a look. I'll put the link in the description, and it will add visual clarity for this explanation. As we travel through realms of consciousness that we call dimensions, they're all vibrational matches to our vibrational makeup, okay? In this case, it's our physical vibrational makeup, how we're vibrating, how we're attracting our experiences, attracting like vibrational patterns. So, as we are moving through the third dimension, each time we revisit the realm of contrast, or as Esther says, every time we croak, right, and then choose to come back, our physical vibration has lightened up, so to speak. In other words, we come back with more of our soul's vibration as part of our physical vibration that is already existing in the third dimension. If you go look at that podcast, you'll see what we mean here. The physical vibration lies dormant until the soul refocuses on it, okay? So every time we leave here, or transition if you prefer, we take with us only the love we have added, that we have accumulated, you could say, to the physical aspect's vibration by way of our experiences in this physical lifetime. And we, in essence, add to our soul's vibration. Excuse my voice today, it's very early. I haven't spoken yet, so that's why I'm cracking a little bit. Okay, so we have likened it to carrying a basket through our lifetime and picking flowers along the way to bring home. Those flowers are every single thought of love we choose. I really like that visual. Anyway, that's how our soul expands its aspects, the soul being the collective us. And that is by adding to its vibration of pure love. So as we continue to experience the third dimension, as we move forward in our soul's eternal path, on the path, we are expanding the physical aspect of the soul, namely us, by adding to the loving pure vibration of our soul. It's our collective soul. Again, this process is explained in the Human Path podcast, where you can see the visual that Joseph gives us to have a better understanding from whence we came. Okay, so as we move forward through the third dimension, there comes an experience, an event in a particular lifetime, and there are many of us who are experiencing it now, okay, where our physical vibration has evolved, has shifted from being dominant in the contrasting vibrational pattern to the dominant in the soul's vibrational pattern. You might call it the vibrational tipping point, where you are now naturally attracting from the in alignment position as opposed to the out of alignment position of the third dimension, all by choosing the in alignment vibration along the way. And as we are choosing, we are discovering more and more of who we really are. I visualize this as being in the middle of a dark forest during a thunderstorm. And as we're walking out of the storm, the rain begins to get lighter and lighter, right? We've all experienced this. Soon we're seeing breaks in the dark clouds and the blue sky is peeking through, and we're walking the path out through a light drizzle. That's what our potential is in this lifetime, and that potential is the fourth dimension, and ultimately the fifth, and it's all vibrational. It's consciously choosing, emitting, and attracting from the in alignment position of the soul, therefore creating and manifesting the experiences that this new vibrational mix is offering us. In short, attracting more love than fear as we naturally shift our vibrational vantage point by way of our focus. We're always looking forward, not back. Remember, you cannot unvibrate or unexperience anything. We're simply moving forward into a new vibrational offering of the awareness of more of who we really are. As we're walking through the third and then the fourth dimension, we understand more and more of who we are, and there comes a point where we will all vibrationally step over that line of consciousness into the fifth dimension, and we will be a vibrational match to our soul's vibration, which of course is the pure vibration of love, where there's no fear and there's no contrasting vibration from which to choose or create. At this point, we will be a vibrational match to the new earth and the new human aspect who lives as a blended being with the soul of us. This is perfect vibrational agreement between the physical and non-physical aspects of the soul. This is the end goal for this current phase of human aspect and the human collective. And I say the end goal because this is the first time in the history of this current human vibrational makeup that we have the opportunity to include this awareness of who we really are in our vibrational scope, so to speak, to choose it consciously by choosing experiences brought forth by way of the universal laws, the universal truths. Remember, that's how the universe operates, and ultimately, that's where we fit in, okay, in the creative mode of this vibrational makeup. So we are and have been walking through phases of consciousness, and these phases offer opportunities for us to consciously choose our own pathway. I call them tributaries of our eternal soul's path. And each time we choose love over fear, love instead of contrast, or in alignment with our soul's vibration, as opposed to out of alignment with it, we take a step forward on that eternal path toward more alignment with our soul. And through that choosing, we discover more of who we really are as the physical aspect of our non-physical soul. So, the fourth dimension is that phase of consciousness where we are choosing consciously, choosing from our soul's perspective, regardless of what's happening outside of that realm. Like all the chaos we are witnessing now in the heart of the third dimension on a global level, right? All of which is out of alignment. It's clear by the manifestations we're witnessing, and as more and more focus on the happenings in the third dimension, the more chaos is created through that collective focus. We must individually step out of that realm consciously and forge ahead toward the creation of the new earth, the new human aspect, and the new experience of the human collective as a whole. We are co-creating the new earth and the new us. We are doing that by choosing to be in alignment. Okay? Remember, we are always creating our own reality, regardless of what's happening or what is existing for us to see or participate in. All of it is our choosing, and the universal laws never cease to work. They are not dependent upon what we are creating. They are an active component to it. And you are in total control of your own creations and your own experiences, all vibrational. Okay? The fourth dimension is what I consider to be a highway rest stop, right? We've all visited those. And that's where we pull over, we stretch, and we breathe for a few minutes, and we take stock of our own vibration. We recognize more of who we are, what we know as universal truth, and then we consciously adjust our vibration. We adjust our focus where necessary, and we get back on that road toward our soul's offering of vibrational discovery. And we continue on. It's the last realm of consciousness before we enter the fifth dimension vibrationally. You guys, our eternal path is a vibrational one. Everything that we experience, everything that we create, is created and experienced in the non-physical realm first. And as we focus, we bring it into our physical reality so we can experience it in the physical plane. As you make conscious choices, you experience those choices. And if you are choosing from the in alignment position, you are seeing and experiencing the manifestations of those vibrations. Universal law, again. You know, if you haven't watched the Domino Analogy podcast, I suggest you do that too, because it talks about events on our eternal pathway. And those events are created through vibrational agreements that move us forward. As we choose more and more consciously, we summon those experiences, those events that move us forward. You want it to move more quickly, right? Don't we all? We all want it to move more quickly. It's our third dimensional understanding at this point. But remember what happened to Lucy and Ethel during their stint at the conveyor belt of the chocolate factory. Remember that? I'll put the link in the description. It's pretty funny. The good news is that we are never offered anything vibrationally that we are not calling out to and are ready for. Okay, that's kind of our safety net, I think. We can't experience anything we are not a vibrational match to. More universal truth. Okay, so in short, we are entering the fourth dimension, and some are already playing in it, actually more than not. You could also liken it to the downslope of a roller coaster, where you can put your arms in the air and feel the wind on your face and know you are heading in the direction of love. How do you know that? How do you know you're in alignment? You feel it. You feel more joy, your life experience is more fun, and you are surrounded by more peace. Okay, so movement into the fourth dimension is conscious choosing. It's conscious choosing. We are in the third dimension, so it's kind of a balancing act. You know, we did a quote not that long ago where Joseph is showing a guy on a tightrope way up in the air, and his balancing rod is balancing between the third and fifth dimension. I would call that rod the fourth dimension. It gives us clarity. Okay? So I hope this helps clarify our fourth dimension. And thanks again, Matt, for your question. We really appreciate it. If you guys have a question, you can send it to info@theteachingsofjoseph.com, and we will get to it. We love what's coming in, you guys. Thank you so much. Welcome aboard, everybody. We will talk again soon. Thanks for listening, everybody. Join us again for the next question of the week with Joseph. Take good care.